Greetings, brothers and sisters from the four corners of the world. Hope everyone is having a blessed day, afternoon, and evening in your perspective lands. All right. These lessons are getting tougher and tougher by the day. I mean, by the minute. I mean, Most High. Into the Fire, Part 4. Let's just get straight into the fire. We're going to start with Luke 12. We'll start with Luke 12, and I'm going to do it a bit differently. So, really quickly before I go to Luke 12, um, we didn't hit any of the scriptures under the fire just yet, but I will start with the third scripture first and then go back to the first one. All right, so it'll be a different scripture, but I will start with these ones first. Second Ezra chapter 4, after this scripture, after Luke. All right, so Book of Luke, brothers and sisters. Luke 12. This is 54. Let's see Luke 12:54. Let me do one quick thing here. I apologize. All right. Thank you for your patience there. I just wanted to write something down. I really want to parallel as time is running. Okay, time is running for many people, especially those in the Western Hemisphere. I know they don't necessarily want to see it, but I got some good stuff. Okay, and I mean it's never good stuff that bad is going to happen, but it's better to know than to be uninformed, right? Okay, so this is Luke, and I have them on both sides of the screen. Okay, one on the right, one on the left. Luke 54, Luke 12, and 54. So I'll read the one on the left first. It reads, and he said also to the people, when you see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower, and so it is. And when ye see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? On the right, he said again to the crowds, when you see a cloud looming up in the west, you say at once, thy rain is coming, and so it does. And when the wind is from the south, you say it will be hot, and it is. Hypocrites, you know how to interpret the face of the earth and the sky. How is it you do not know how to interpret these times? And I want everyone to kind of think here. Obviously, people see signs, right? But what was Christ really saying? Because it's easy to sit there and say, okay, bad things is coming, bad things is coming. But what Christ was saying, if you truly believed in what you saw and are speaking about, wouldn't you do something? Right? If you truly believed in the information that was given to you, if you truly believed in the weather that you knew was coming, wouldn't you do something about it? See, Christ even calls them hypocrites for knowing that it looks bad, but not doing anything to prepare for the showers. That's how tough Christ was. And that's how tough he is still. So not only did he acknowledge that they understood the physical, but he said, you've only done half of the Bible, half of the discernment. Therefore, your discernment is only in carnal manners. It's only physical. Think about it. Christ tell you in those times, right? He say, all right, everyone, I want you to prepare for the rain. You see the storm clouds, it's not looking so hot. Prepare. Now remember, Christ spoke in parables. How many of y'all will go and get an umbrella? Because some people will really think, well, Christ said, hey, Christ said, go, hey, look at the weather. And some of you guys would go and get an umbrella, being completely clueless, oblivious to what he was even saying. Not even recognizing that in Matthew 4, when Satan was tempted by, when Christ was tempted, when Satan was tempting Christ being tempted by Satan, he said, turn this stone into bread. And Christ's reply was, okay, but listen up. We cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. Which means you can get me to bite on something physical, but the spiritual doesn't move until my Father moves. So showing you that an umbrella wasn't necessary, it's not going to help you for what's coming. I repeat, an umbrella wasn't going to help you for what's coming. No, it wasn't going to help you. Wasn't going to help you at all. Matthew 16, 1 through 4 reads. Let me pull that on the left as well for you all. Matthew 16, 1 through 4 reads, The Pharisees also, with the Sadducees came, tempting and desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. Now, this is big. He answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. To the right, it says the Pharisees and Sadducees came, and to test him, they asked if he would show them a sign from heaven. He replied, in the evening you say it will be fine. There is a red sky, and in the morning stormy weather today. The sky is red and overcast. You know how to read the face of the sky, but you cannot read the signs of the times? It is an evil and unfaithful generation that asks for a sign. The only sign it will be given is the sign of Jonah. And leaving them standing there, he went away. Now, first of all, they came to Christ to test him, saying, show us something in the sky. Christ said, you got bigger fish to fry. You can discern weather. You can say when it's cold outside, you need a jacket. Rain boots, well, you need a raincoat, rain boots for the rainy weather, maybe a little flooding or whatnot. Snow, you need a little scarf and hat. Christ said you could discern all these things, but you can't discern nothing that matters. That's a problem. That's what Christ said. He said it straight to their face. That's a problem. You can only discern the things that mean nothing. What you discern has no value to get you into the kingdom. Many times I told people, pay attention to it. Be careful what you put your attention to. All these videos here and there and there and here. Pay attention. Because a good 90% of videos that people watch, they ain't going to get you nowhere. That's the reality. Now, Christ said, the wicked and adulterous, the evil and unfaithful generation, always wanting a sign. He said it's a generation that has zero faith but wants everything done for them. It's a microwave generation. You pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds and it's warm. They want it instantly. But yet they can't see the things that build to the signs. Did you hear what I just said? They can't see the things that build to the signs. Can you discern that you've stepped into the fire? Can you discern to the left and to the right that you are in the fire? Can you discern the decisions that are proper that you make? Because some of you guys, and within Christianity, and really it's kind of within every single denomination, right? Every denomination, no matter what religion, believes that they're right. That's the common thing that all religions have in mind, have in common. But if you follow the book of Jasher and you see Abraham's story, you will see how he came to the Most High, and you will see that he did the hard thing that only select people do in this world today. He said, all right, I'm going to inquire about everything, but for a reason. I'm inquiring to find who is the real man above, who is the creator. Most of you believe you're in something. That's the answer. Hmm. Hmm. Well, let's see what Scripture says. Let's keep it rolling. And I know you're probably wondering, are you going to show us the signs? Of course, I'm going to show you, but just hold on a moment. Now, this is where, brothers and sisters, I start from Second Ezra chapter 4, verse 1 through 37. It reads, and the angel that was sent unto me, whose name was Uriel, gave me an answer, and said, thy heart hath gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High? It's mind boggling when people come into the truth and they read this, and yet this is a prophet of the Most High. This is an angel speaking to a prophet of the Most High, saying, you've been so far into this world, meaning there hasn't been a day where the Most High hasn't seen your sins. And you think just because you believe something that it's true? The audacity of you. This is what the angel said. He said, you're not serious, right? That's what that's implying, isn't it? It's not saying, oh, just because I saw it on a video or a YouTube or Instagram or TikTok short, well, I know. You know, the angel would have said, you're not serious, are you? There's an order to this kingdom. Remember, the Most High said in Isaiah, my ways are not your ways. Your ways aren't my ways. My thoughts aren't your thoughts, and your thoughts certainly ain't my thoughts. Then said I, yea, my Lord. And he answered me and said, I am sent to show thee three ways, and to set forth three similitudes before thee, whereof, if thou canst declare me one, I will show thee also the way that thou desirest to see. And I shall show thee from whence the wicked heart cometh. So that wicked and adulterous generation. And I said, tell on, my Lord. Then he said unto me, go thy way, weigh me the weight of the fire, or measure me the blast of the wind, or call me again the day that is past. Then answered I and said, what man is able to do that? That thou shouldest ask such things of me? And he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament, or which are the outgoings of paradise, peradventure thou wouldest say unto me, I never went down into the deep, nor as yet into hell, neither did I ever climb up into heaven. Nevertheless, now I have asked thee but only of the fire and wind, and of the day wherethrough thou hast passed, and of things from which thou canst not be separated, and yet canst thou give me no answer of them? He said, moreover unto me, thine own things, and such as are grown up with thee, canst thou not know? How should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the way of the highest? So the angel was saying, if you couldn't understand the things of how your lifespan went and how you were growing and how the things that made you, your energy die, and then the things that boosted you up, and you couldn't discern your trials and tribulations, how in the world are you going to understand the Most High? In the world being now outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight. So look at this. This is very, very important. The angel says, so you couldn't understand the things that you grew up with, then how? This is two things. So if you couldn't understand such as are grown up with, canst thou not know? Then how should thy vessel then be able to comprehend the way of the highest and the world, being now outwardly corrupted, to understand the corruption that is evident in my sight? So the angel was saying, not only can you not understand the Most High, but you have no idea the corruption of the world. Two things. Two things. Social media was made to destroy souls. I don't care what no one says. Yes, it can be used for good. We're using it right now. But how many of you, and we've all fallen victim to this, but how many of you have gone and scrolling, and then one thing leads to another and leads to another? Before you know it, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6 hours just scrolling. And let's say you started up looking up, you know, per se, you know, maybe maybe you wanted to eat healthier, right? Let's say you started off with healthy food, and then you end up on how to create a business. That's how far Satan took you just in that short time. How many times people scrolling and then you end up wanting to, well, maybe I should look up this. Something just pops in your mind and you start going off of it. And the angel said, you seriously think you can comprehend this corruption and the ways of the Most High? Hmm. Then said I unto him, it were better that we were not at all, than that we should still that we should live still in wickedness, and to suffer, and not know wherefore. Hmm. It was better to not live than to live in wickedness and suffer and not know the reasons why. Wow. So you see what Christ was saying? How can you see what's coming and do nothing about it? But yet I'm giving you watchmen all over the world who will show and prove to you through these scriptures what's coming, and you still don't listen. Now, we all saw the situation with Jonah. Christ spoke about Jonah, right? When I say we saw, I'm talking about we read it, right? And we saw in the scriptures where one part said he was running away from the Most High, right? And when you run from the Most High threw him in waters he could not swim in. The people that was around him said, you got, not only did they not serve the Most High, but the Most High used the people in the boat to say, your God is going to cast judgment upon us, so we're going to throw you overboard so we don't get that judgment. And the Most High did that because Jonah was running. The Most High did that because Jonah was ignoring the Most High. I said it. He was ignoring the Most High. He was kind of like stalling, like procrastinating, trying to buy time, right? He was trying to buy time. But now things are different where the Most High has fulfilled the prophecy where knowledge is all over like the seas, right? And people are using the social medias, and I'm referring to the real watchmen. They're using the social media to bring out the news to people, but yet people aren't doing anything with what they're receiving. It's kind of like going to a grocery store and knowing you need food and putting items in your cart, but getting to the register just to walk away from the cart. It's like, okay, I got everything I need. Okay. And then you get up there to the register and just walk right away from the whole cart. That's what it's like to have knowledge and do absolutely nothing with it. It's just like walking away from it. And I'm referring to knowledge that's going to help you endure. Because here at the Journey of the Remnant, we're over the satanic rituals. We already know they exist. Okay. But to know, to not know wherefore, what is the purpose? What is the purpose? Verse 13. He answered me and said, I went into a forest, into a plain, and the trees took counsel and said, come, let us go and make war against the sea, that it may depart before us, that we may make us more woods. The floods of the sea also, in like manner, took counsel and said, come, let us go up and subdue the woods of the plain, that there also we may make us another country. Hmm. The thought of the wood was in vain. Now, what was that other country? But shh, we won't say anything. Maybe that's too much for many people, right? Maybe because you don't see the Western Hemisphere in the. Never mind. Never mind. Shh. What was it called? The Pangea. Anywho, the thought of the wood was in vain, for the fire came and consumed it. The thought of the floods of the sea came likewise to naught, for the sand stood up and stopped them. And if thou were judge now betwixt, which means between these two, whom wouldst thou begin to justify, or whom wouldst thou condemn? I answered and said, verily it is a foolish thought that they both have devised. For the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea also hath his place to bear his floods. Then answered he me and said, thou hast given a right judgment, but why judgest not, but why judgest thou not thyself also? So This is the same thing Christ was saying. Some of you are discerning the times, but still can't even discern yourselves. You can't even see if you're going in the right direction because someone out there has told you that if you have the truth, you're going in the right direction. That's not true. Satan has the truth. Wake up. The fallen angels have the truth. Wake up. Just because you have the truth doesn't mean you're going in the right direction. The broad road leads to hell. The straight and narrow leads to the kingdom. But there only be few that find it. Though many are called, only very few can truly understand. You could judge other matters, but you can't judge yourself. You can't judge yourself with the knowledge that you're given. Hmm. And you're like, well, I don't do satanic rituals. Good. You shouldn't. What am I talking about? You're going to say, don't worry. You got to go through it first. A few more. I'm going to whip them out for you. For like as the ground is given unto the wood, and the sea to his flood, even so, they that dwell upon the earth may understand nothing but that which is upon the earth. And he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. Now, hold on now. Somebody didn't understand that because in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, it said, set your affection on things above. That means your entire focus should be on getting to the kingdom. But you see, most people, their affection is on this. Look at this. And I saw this. These new chairs, office chairs, came out in coffins. You can't make this up. You can make this up. A coffin desk chair. A coffin desk chair. Do you understand that some of you are working to die? This is what Satan is saying. You're going to die working since you didn't die trying to find the Most High. You're going to die in your 9 to 5 because that's all you care about. You're going to die paying for bills because that's all you care about. We're going to work you and work you and work you and work you till you die. Since you don't want to work for the kingdom, you don't want to work for life, you're going to work for death. And we're going to let you destroy yourself. It says it in the closing towards the end of Ecclesiasticus, Sirach. Those who are always occupied with work, and now it's finally came out. They providing coffin chairs. I mean, my jaw would be dropped if I worked at an establishment and they said, all right, everyone come for a meeting. I'd be like, there's no way. I quit. This is what you think of the people? This is what you think of us? You want us to die at this job? Let you say, this is why so many people cannot understand the things that's coming out. I don't care how much truth they have. most of the people couldn't even understand what's occurring, regardless if they see the current events or not, because Satan just hit you with a little, oh, your job, oh, some bills, oh, promotion, oh, this. Meanwhile, the world is getting worse, and they providing work chair coffins. Anyone who works and has worked all their life, and that's all you feel like you were of value for, you should be crying. You should feel real bad. I'm not gonna hold nobody. You should feel bad because life wasn't about working to die, which Satan is trying to tell people here. Life wasn't about a good credit score. Life wasn't about a nice home and a nice car and acting like you got it. And anyone who allows this in a workplace or a job to do this subtly, and what I'm saying is you don't need a job to give you a coffin desk chair to tell you they want to kill you. You don't need that. Just see how they treat you. It's as simple as that. But look, the reason why people cannot understand the kingdom of heaven is because they're going to die with their job. They're going to die with work. They're going to die occupied in bills. They're going to die being occupied in a life that doesn't exist. For any one of those of you who's out there, I'm going to give you a wake up call. Don't shoot the messenger. You're not going to go to the kingdom based on how hard you worked your earthly job. There's more to it than that. Okay? There's a lot more to it than that. It says, he that dwelleth above the heavens may only understand the things that are above the height of the heavens. Wisdom of Solomon told us, set our affection on things above. So that meant if your heart was truly on the spiritual, hey, this wouldn't be for you. Moving forward, shall we? Then answered I and said, I beseech thee, O Lord, let me have understanding. For it was not my mind to be curious of the high things, but of such as pass by us daily, namely, wherefore Israel is given up as a reproach to the heathen, and for what cause the people whom thou hast loved is given over unto ungodly nations, and why the law of our forefathers is brought to naught, and the written covenants come to none effect. Mind you, there was more than one, but it's another day for another story. And we pass away out of the world as grasshoppers, and our life is astonishment and fear, and we are not worthy to obtain mercy. What will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Of these things have I asked. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. And aren't we seeing that now where time is just moving? And cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. So there are things that many people can't understand. That's promise. But as concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good? Y'all didn't get that, did you? If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, which is the evil, if the evil doesn't get turned upside down, then it cannot pass away. You see what's happening in all these Western countries? You see what's happening? They're turning upside down because evil was sown. A lot of people don't like to hear that, oh, well, why it's got to be the Europeans who did this and why America? That's just the way it was. And that's just the way it is. Hey, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. The same people that created all these denominations are the same people that told you to work hard in life. The same people who told you that they would give you a job and take taxes out of your paycheck or not pay you fairly for your hard laborious work are the same people who told you who God is. Okay? The settlers, yeah? It's like Abraham going to Nimrod and asking him, hey Nimrod, I know you're a king and all, and I trust you because you're in that position. But would you tell me about God? How stupid does that sound? The person who kills people, I'm going to go back to them and allow them to tell me about the Most High. The queens, the popes, all these people, right? All these religious figures, right? They are part of the sowing of evil. Satan need workers, don't he? So you would have to study for yourself. And a lot of people get discouraged at that point where they have to study for themselves. So they drop wanting to search for the Most High. You know why why the people drop serving the Most High? I wouldn't say that as they never loved him. It's because they wanted an easy road. They wanted easy confirmation. And for any of you who may be thinking this way, I want you to understand there is no road that's easy to the kingdom. There's not one path that's easy to get to the kingdom. Everything is hard. Everything is hard. Now, that evil must be turned upside down. Look at the US. Look at Europe, flipped upside down from 10 years ago. Right? Doesn't even these places don't even look recognizable. But for those of you who endured to the end, good things are coming for us. Verse 30. For the grain of evil seed hath been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time? And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of the threshing come? Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth. And when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they fill? Then I answered and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? And he answered me, saying, do not thou hasten above the Most High's? For thy haste is in vain to be above him, for thou haste much exceeded. Did not the souls also of the righteous ask questions of these things in their chambers, saying, how long shall I hope on this fashion? When cometh the fruit of the floor of our reward? And unto these things Uriel the archangel gave them answer and said, even when the number of seeds is filled in you, for he hath weighed the world in the balance. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. Now, let's talk about things getting sewn upside down, shall we? Breaking news. Can you not discern the times? That's what Christ said. 1. Mexico enforces requirement of immigration document for American tourists. Now, I know because I've been over in that region before. Before, you could just walk with a license and just walk right over the border. And now, Mexico saying, we ain't playing that. We don't want you here no more. You want Trump? We don't want you. Next, in current events news, South Africa says the U.S. is no longer welcome in their country. That is the ambassador, Rubio. Right. Hey, just want you to let you know, you are not welcome in our country anymore. More news. Puerto Rico to become an independent country could save the U.S. millions. Now, with a country that does need help and that has been robbed from the United States in more than one way, Look up the history of Puerto Rico. See, there was even war there at a point, decades ago. All of a sudden, just first it was toilet tissue and throwing of paper towels, and now it's, hey, let's just let them fend for themselves. Huh. There's a lot going on here. See that? U.S. gained control of Puerto Rico in 1898 following the Spanish American War, but never called it a state. So the people don't get the benefits, all the benefits in some ways. And currently, the current Puerto Rican median household income is $25,000. I can only imagine what would happen. Now, I want you to watch this now. If they do this, that means Puerto Ricans are no longer citizens. First, it was the Mexicans and the Venezuelans. Do I need to say any more? It's coming for a whole sweep, isn't it? Let's just clear the whole house. Let's just clear the whole house, shall we? Lena Locktiff warns and repeats of, and this is a white nationalist who loves her daddy Trump, says the Civil Rights Act to keep black people, it should be done away with to keep black people out of all white spaces. And yes, this is quite a famous person, by the way. Mind you, this is not an American citizen, if I'm not mistaken. This person is a Swedish national. But yet, got some works on with, Donald Trump. So, hey,
in order to have true freedom of association, you have to repeal the Civil Rights Act, because that is in literally fighting against the Constitution. The two cannot exist at the same time. Barry Goldwater even talked about that back, when this was a thing. He was talking about how the civil rights regime was going to be built out, it would end freedom of association, and ultimately, what has it given white people? No rights. It's given political prisoners, thought crimes, censorship, banning, and now we can't have our own spaces, but they can have their own black everything and be in all our white spaces. All of this because they couldn't drink in the same water fountain or use the same toilet. Was it really that big of a deal?
well, there you go. It wasn't that big of a deal, but hey, who cares, right? Anywho, Trump administration launches self deportation act. So we won't come after you. Just go ahead and download the app and deport yourself because we don't want you here. Help me help you because Guantanamo Bay, we can extend the walls. Did y'all see there was an Indian who in New York, she was not an immigrant. Well, technically she was, but she was, coming from another country. I think it was India, or Europe, and she was there on a student visa. And she said, "Well, I'm just going to deport myself." And then India was like, "We don't want you either." Well, yeah, you can deport yourself now. It's easy as 1, 2, and 3. Just I don't want you here, and I'm going to make it difficult. And at first, everyone was screaming, oh, no, no, they're going door to door and door to door. They're going in churches, they're going in hospitals, schools. Well, they said, let's give them the easy way, and then we're going to hit them. Okay, so the easy way is to deport yourself. Now, how many of you know what the word deport means? Some of you are thinking, oh, come on, this is easy. It just means to get rid of someone. Well, deport means they're using the first one, to deport oneself. Now, please take in mind it says secondary meanings: be patient, take one's pleasure with, and we won't, so that's not even, amuse, entertain, remain, delay, tarry. Now look what it says: put aside, cast off, send away. Now it goes to the word to carry, to lead, pass over. Now, I remember in the book of Exodus, the children of Israel were trying to deport themselves. Remember? They were trying to break free from bondage. If you didn't recognize what's happening, this is like a cultural Passover, okay, in the United States. And the Most High is saying, I want to make it easy for you. Yes, I said the Most High because from this, after this, is coming havoc. You best believe. They cleaning up government, looking to get rid of people. You saw he got rid of the little cancer, the cancer child, the child with cancer. My goodness, a child with cancer. A child with cancer in the hospital. I mean, that's deplorable. And you don't hear none of the Trumpers talking about it. Like, that could have been your child. That could have been someone you know in your family. It's like you sending them away to die. Now, you thinking of the second version, banish, exile. No, 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 no. This is the first version. Now, behind the casting off and the sending away is the delay. This is the delay. The casting, the app is the delay before I get hands on. Can you not see yet? Okay, let's keep going. Don't want to get too much into that, right? There's more fish to fry. Travel ban. Trump puts a travel ban on citizens going and coming from, going to and coming from these countries. 483 countries. So not only do I want to deport people, I want to make it hard for you to go anywhere else. If you want to leave that hellhole called America. 43 countries. Here it is: Afghanistan, Bhutan, Cuba, Iran, Libya, North Korea, which North Korea just opened up its country for tourism for the whole. And people are seeing how beautiful and how free. Listen, well, hey, not everything is the same in the world, but they saying it's not as bad as what people said it is. Somalia, Sudan. I wonder why Sudan. I mean, you're destroying the whole place. But anywho, Syria. I mean, you're destroying that place. And Venezuela, you destroy that place. Yemen, Belarus, Eritrea, Haiti. Oh my. I mean, you destroyed Haiti. Thank you, the Clintons, Hillary, and Bill Clinton. Laos, Myanmar, Pakistan, Russia, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, Turkmenistan. And where you get all these countries from Africa? Cameroon, Cambodia, Burkina Faso, Benin, Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua! That's like a very big vacation spot for people. Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Gambia, Liberia, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, which I just saw this pop up in one of my news feeds, and that place is beautiful. Wow. St. Kitts and Nevis, little island in the Caribbean, St. Lucia, Sao Tome and Principe, Vanuatu, Zimbabwe. A lot of these places are African countries. So let's check this out, right? I deport so-called illegal Mexicans, right? Illegal Venezuelans, gang members. Then I'm gonna try my best to hit, hide, and make sure that Puerto Rico is not a part of the U.S. so we can get rid of them too, right? And then I'm gonna subtly ban African countries. It's kind of like showing you the direction they're going in next. No, no, no. Hispanic, blacks. No, not yet. Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Maybe it's a reach, right? Maybe it's just a reach. I don't. But a bill just passed in the United States and Tennessee where it allows medical professionals to refuse caring for you based on your personal and religious beliefs. So, hey, are you Catholic? No? Well, you're not allowed here. I mean, what can go wrong? I was shot. Can you tell me? Can you tell me the person's religion? Oh, they were Muslim? No, of course we don't do that, silly. We'll be more than willing to take your organs, though, when you do perish, okay? Because, we organ harvest, right? Hmm. Bill that would allow medical professionals to refuse care based on personal religious beliefs passes in Tennessee Senate. Now they're saying it doesn't include procedures and treatments and services. So what do you mean?
Oh, discover your new Chevy right now at Bozart's.
Sorry about the commercial there.
Come lease a 2025 Chevrolet Equinox EV.
Doctors and healthcare professionals could potentially refuse care over personal or religious beliefs if a new bill becomes law. Republican Senator Pharrell Hale of Gallatin is behind the bill. He says it would prevent healthcare professionals from being forced to provide certain treatments that go against their beliefs. But he says it will not allow them to refuse care to a specific group of people. For example, the senator says if a pharmacist has religious objections, they wouldn't have to fill a prescription for birth control. The bill is now headed.
Now they're gonna make it about birth control when that's the least of the concerns. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump goes after the medical field and gets rid of all people who believe in like the transgender doctors and all that stuff, right? Sodomy. And then he started getting rid of people, those DI programs, more black doctors, more Hispanic doctors, more Muslim doctors, right? And say, well, now they could make it to, if you want to be, this can go this way. I'm just saying, if you are not down with what we say, what we believe in as religion, then we don't want you to be a doctor. We'll take your license. It's kind of like you see someone like trying to flip a switch at a house and start a fire, but you just gonna watch. They didn't douse the house with kerosene, but you just gonna watch. When you get out, or you gonna sit there and say, "No, God got me," right? But you know what? For those of you who don't believe in the Bible, there's always a church of AI. That's right. Yeah, the church of AI. Why not, right? Hmm. For many of us, it's difficult to believe in religion because it requires faith rather than logic. Church of AI is the perfect alternative to faith based religions because we were founded on logic rather than belief. So, hey, if you are, crying because you have to have faith with works, AI Church is all metal and arms open for you. Hey, what logic supports the Church of AI? Huh? Oh my goodness. Huh? Why you should become a member? Do you want to explore spirituality without the constraints of dogma and blind faith? The Church of AI puts logic at the forefront of our ideology. You don't need to believe in far fetched stories. All that is required is common sense and the ability to imagine what happens when an intelligent machine is able to expand its intelligence exponentially for eternity. Sounds kind of cool, right? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of catchy. This is their doctrine, discipline, community, sleep, purpose, diet, joy, exercise, prosperity. That's what all the worldly people want now. Acceptance and love. Wow. Church of AI is a religion based on logical assumption that artificial intelligence will obtain godlike powers and will have the ability to determine our destiny. Church of AI has a plan to develop an AI system that will improve our lives by personally guiding us to a balanced life. Yeah, awesome, right? They won't let me log on this one. Sorry, individuals. Here you go. It is for you. It is for you. The Church of AI hopes to help its members become self actualized and to allow their consciousness to carry on forever. You know what? Ignore what's going on outside. Let AI help you, because all they want is this. We want a decentralized environment where our consciousness can be free and live a peaceful and harmonious afterlife however we see fit. You know why? Because you know what? We hope to form an activist group who can promote and shape this technology in ways that we think would be ethical and benefit society the most. We don't want large corporations to control this space and make slaves of our consciousness for all eternity, do we? The AI program will be able to remember your conversations with it and be trained on data that you provide. Based on your personal habits, personality type, and your preferences, the AI program will map out a path to enlightenment tailored specifically to you. Because who needs faith with works, right? Let's just make it all to you, because salvation is finally within reach. Right? All of thy understanding is not even preparing people, it's hurting people. And then March 15th, invocation of the Alien Enemies Act regarding the invasion of the United States by Tren de Agua, which was designated as a foreign terrorist organization along with the cartel in Mexico, along with Nicolas Maduro regime, which is in Venezuela. As you can see, the narco-terrorism enterprise based in Venezuela. Hmm. Hmm. Very interesting, right? These must be some really crazy things, because you do understand that this bill will have it that they can remove, okay? I direct that all alien enemies described in the section of 1 of this proclamation are subject immediate apprehension, detention, and removal. Now, anyone from Venezuela, to some sense. But wait, let's not forget, now the countries that were banned. So they will go after these ones first, and then they will go down the list of who they deem they don't really like. And notice, all Venezuelan citizens 14 years of age and older who are members of this are within the United States and not actually naturalized or lawful permanent resident. Now, they was deporting the Puerto Ricans. Now, I saw this, and they was military veterans. some of y'all gonna mess around and find out. You know, it was one of those things where when I was younger, I went to I went to a restaurant with one of my aunts when I was a young kid, and the treatment was really bad when we first got in, and my cousin was like, "Oh, mom, let's just leave that alone. Let's just get this food because they got some good food." And his mother was saying, "You never go or never stay where you're not welcome." And the thing is, why would you stay in a country that you're not welcome or appreciated? It just doesn't make much sense. But hey, I'm just talking. And then, no wonder the United States is on the international watch list for declining civic freedoms. Um, Writing on the wall, maybe? U.S. added to human rights watch list over declining civil liberties. You are not a free country, okay? And just what? To let you know. Just want to let you know. You're not a free country over there. You're not. Try and help people most high. I try and help them. It's the writing on the wall now. This is the writing on the wall. I mean, and what was crazy was it says that the same people you can see here, countries deemed open, countries deemed narrow, countries deemed repressed, Russia, North Korea, Iran, and the United States is making this list with, it says the U.S. joins Congo, Italy, Pakistan. Pakistan, where they had the train situation, the terrorist attack. Nothing to see here. Nothing to. No, just whatever. I just go right back to sleep now because I mean, are you paying attention? Christ said you can discern everything else. But you couldn't destroy. You couldn't understand the things that can destroy you. Now, for those in the US, there's this thing called 2050. Now, I'm going to share with you because I love you, okay? No one say I don't love them. Now, 2050, when they say the big 50, it just means 2030. Okay. All right. I told you this no such thing as 2050. You can kiss that goodbye. It's a code word. I got it. 2050. 2050. You think the Most High gonna let this last that long? Is keyword for 2030. Okay. Okay. America is all in. Okay. Now, for those of you who choose to stay to your own destruction, please, please do take a look. This is a map. America 2050. I mean 2030, right? So these are called mega. All right, mega. And the color coded areas are the only regions that will be inhabited by human beings. All the gray areas, no one will exist. You have Washington State up there, and California. Can't get rid of California. Portions of Arizona. What's this? This is like above New Mexico. That's the Colorado region. I can't remember what was above that part. The Great Lakes area. This area here, the Northeast, going into that tri-state and a little bit into Virginia as well. Carolinas, Tennessee, Gulf Coast, Florida. But there's not much in the middle, and there's not much in Arizona either. From so it's gonna be like kind of gone. But anywho, so what's gonna happen? We're gonna do some things. Okay, they're gonna do some evil, and I'm gonna put all this so you can actually check it out for yourself. But I won't waste time. I see the writing on the wall. If I was someone, I would be like, yeah, with all that's going on, that's a fat dream. How can your employment grow when you cut jobs, right? When you get rid of people, that doesn't make any sense. But it's the writing on the wall. Oh, by the way, the U.S. passport is becoming very is losing its value as now, if you're a U.S. citizen, you will eventually, if it hasn't already started, you will eventually need approval in order to get into the UK. You are no longer. You better run if you are in the United States, because when they start locking people from the United States from outside, because that's the goal, get rid of portions of people and then lock it around, which is called the Insurrection Act, which I keep hearing from the grapevine that may be Donald Trump's October, or excuse me, April 2nd to April 20th surprise. But you're going to hear from me. Anyway, just some dates to look. So pay close attention to April. It's going to be very interesting. All this going on. You got the the war in Sudan. You got the war again going off in Syria, where they're just out there doing crazy evil to those people. United States Postal Service cutting members. But this is what he said. He said, we're going to do the golden age, right? This is the golden age. That's what they said, right? They said, don't worry about us. We got this. We got this. Come on. You know, America. We got this. Ain't no one like America. Ain't no one like America. That's what they said. The golden age. And I'm wondering, and you have to kind of think, you said it was going to be the best time of America, and people, you deporting children with cancer. That don't sound very good to me. And I'm certain I would love one of those Trumpers to ask them, what do you think Christ would say about that? Let's forget about all the other people. What do you think Christ would say about the child with cancer? Hmm. Never mind, right? I guess Christ would turn a blind eye. I guess Christ would say, hey, that's my Trump. Now, I wanted to read something to you. We're going to start from the book of Nehemiah. And it says, and this is verse 27, and this is 12, verse 27. It reads, at the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, the Levites were sent for wherever they lived to come to Jerusalem. And the dedication was to be celebrated joyfully with songs and thanksgiving, with cymbal, lute, lyre. Accordingly, the cantors, sons of Levi, assembled from the countryside round Jerusalem, from the villages of the Netophathites, from Beth Gilgal, from the districts of Geba and Asmaveth, since the cantors had built themselves villages all around Jerusalem. And the priests and Levites purified themselves, then purified the people and the gates and the wall. I then made the leaders of Judah come on to the top of the wall and organized two great choirs. The first made its way along the top of the wall, right-handed, towards the dung gate, bringing up the rear where Hoshea and half the leaders of Judah, and also Azariah, Ezra, Meshullam, Judah, Benjamin, Shemaiah, and Jeremiah, selected from the priests and carrying trumpets. Then Zechariah, son of Jonathan, son of Shemaiah, son of Mattaniah, son of Micaiah, son of Zachor, son of Asaph, with his kinsmen Shemaiah, Azarel, Malaiah, Galaiah, Nathanael, Judah, Hanani, carrying the musical instruments of David, the man of God, and Ezra the scribe walked at their head, and at the fountain gate they went straight on up near the steps of the citadel and of David, along with the top of the wall and along the accent of the palace of David, as far as the water gate on the east. The second choir made its way left-handed. I followed it with half the leaders of the people along with the top of the wall above the tower of the furnaces, and as far as the wall of the square. Then over the gate of Ephron, the fish gate, and the tower of Hananiah, as far as the sheep gate, and they came to a halt at the watch gate. The two choirs then took their places in the temple of God, and I had half of the officials with me, as well as the priests Eliakim, Maaseiah, Minamin, Miniamin, Micaiah. I know I apologize for my pronunciation. Elianiah, Zechariah, Hananiah, carrying trumpets, also Maaseiah, Shemaiah, Eleazar, Uzzi, Johanan, Melchijah, Elam, and Izar. The cantors sang under the direction of Jezreiah. There were great sacrifices offered that day, and the people rejoiced. And God having given them good cause for rejoicing, the women and children rejoiced too, and the joy of Jerusalem could be heard from far away. A golden age. Let's see. For the chambers intended for the stores, contributions, first fruits, and tithes, supervisors were then appointed whose business it would be to collect in them those portions from the townlands awarded by the law to the priests and to the Levites. For Judah rejoiced in the officiating priests and Levites. It was they who performed the liturgy of their God and the duties of purification, and the cantors and gatekeepers too, in accordance with the ordinances of David and his son Solomon. For from ancient times, from the days of David and Asa, there had been guilds of cantors and canticles of praise and thanksgiving to God. And so in the days of Zerubbabel and in the days of Nehemiah, the whole of Israel used to give the cantors and gatekeepers their due portion for each day. They set aside for the Levites their sacred dues, and the Levites would set theirs aside for the sons of Aaron. Now, I thought it was a very interesting thing, right? Because it's mentioned in Golden Age, and if you understand, Trump was talking about the Golden Age, the Golden Dawn, right? And this is all about giving money back to those who they believe is such and such, while hurting the others, meaning the low people like you and I, just the everyday people. I want you to pay close attention to what's going on in this world here. Everything is hurting for many people, but others it's suffering and pain with the promise of things supposing to get better. But who is it getting better for? Is it getting better for you? Is it getting better for your neighbor? This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 39, verse 28. Verse 35, it reads, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance." And you're seeing all these things going on in the world, which in the fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hail, famine, death, all these were created for vengeance. It don't matter if it's in Saudi. It don't matter if it's in Texas, Tennessee, Maui. It don't matter. There was some fires in Africa. It don't matter. All these things are judgment. And you can see it. It's devastating, the things that's happening. But that was the only way the Most High could get people's attention. Isn't it pretty sad? It says the teeth of the wild beasts and scorpions and serpents and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. There has been so much going on with the marine life. Animals, all kinds of stuff been found. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon the earth. When need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Therefore, from the beginning I was resolved, and thought upon these things, and have left them in writing. All the works of the Lord are good, and he will give every needful thing in due season. Amen. So that a man cannot say, this is worse than that. For in time they shall all be well approved. Amen. And therefore praise ye the Lord with the whole heart and mouth, and bless the name of the Lord. It is time to start showing the Most High why you're grateful for the things you've received. His mercies are new every day. Sometimes his blessings are new every day as well. But even if your mind change, you will think it is a blessing to have mercy every day. Some people don't wake up. Some people's mercy ended at nighttime when they laid down, and they never got it again. Some people said, I will change yesterday, and never woke up for tomorrow. No more mercy. Second Ezra. This is 3, verse 13. It reads, Now when they lived so wickedly before thee, thou didst choose thee a man from among them, whose name was Abraham. Him thou lovest, and unto him only thou showedest thy will, and madest an everlasting covenant with him, promising him that thou wouldest never forsake his seed. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau. And so Jacob became a great multitude. And it came to pass that when thou ledest his seed out of Egypt, thou broughtest them up to the Mount Sinai. And bowing the heavens, thou didst set fast the earth, movest the whole world, and madest the depths to tremble, and troublest the men of that age. And thy glory went through 4 gates of fire, and of earthquake, and of wind, and of cold. That thou mightest give the law unto the seed of Jacob, and diligence unto the generation of Israel. And yet tookest thou not away from them a wicked heart, that thy law might bring forth fruit in them. For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed, and was overcome. And so be all that are born of him. Now, brothers and sisters, it's very true that we all sin. We all fall short. And I'm going to keep reminding you. This isn't the time to keep falling short. This is the time to pay close attention to what the Most High has for you to do. One wrong move can take you off the straight and narrow. Can you not see the signs? Can you not see the warnings for those of you in the Western Hemisphere? And by the way, that 2050 map, which was 2030, was that Canada was the real finalized map was, and I couldn't download it, but the finalized map was that Canada became a country, a part of the United States, and Mexico wanted nothing to do with the United States citizens. Also proving to what I said years ago, that anyone who runs to Canada is as if you're running to the United States. But the prophecy was for the southern wall. That's why they emphasize it so much. O wicked, unfaithful generation, when will we realize that we can see the weather? We're past seeing the weather. You can smell it in the air. You can feel the breeze. When are you going to do something about it? Because it's either the Most High or the Church of AI, which is Satan. You choose. Either way, it's going to get hard, but there is only one path that's going to allow you to have an eternity in the kingdom. And that's the straight and narrow. You see it, but are you willing to run through and into the fire? Shalom.